Hello, this is Rabbi Hecht, and I'm very glad to address you once again. I trust that you had a wonderful Pesach. Actually, Pesach means to jump or to leap. And usually when you land, it takes a couple of seconds just to find yourself, to position yourself so you could find your firm footing. So we had a really intense and a happy holiday, filled with a wonderful community and spiritual energies that were being absorbed during these days. And now we actually go day by day, the Sfirat HaOmer, in which we are progressing in our activities to get closer to God and to incorporate the messages of Pesach into our daily activities. I'd like to spend a minute of your time or so to talk about what happened on Friday. Billions of people worldwide saw a wedding, and many of them were glued to the TV, internet. TV played a replay over it, and I was thinking to myself, what's the attraction? Why were billions of people so interested in what was happening in a very small corner on planet Earth? I know there was a lot of glitz, there was a lot of pageantry, there was a lot of fashion, there's power, but I don't think that really puts the finger on it. What I believe, what people responded to was the title, The Royal Wedding. And that's what I want to spend some time with you and tie it into Pesach. The attraction over here was not two attractive looking people that are getting married, but it was a royal wedding. People are naturally inclined to look up towards leaders, and a king and a queen, though it's so rare in this world, the image that it projects still resonates deeply. I would just remind you that over 100 years ago, almost the entire civilized world was run by governments that were headed by kings, emperors, czars, and people of royalty. So there's something very basic about royalty which unites from the most simple person to the most august, and indeed the wealthiest and the poorest. Everyone just felt, oh, this is the royal wedding. I mean, how can we not participate? How can we not enjoy the spectacle of seeing royalty? You know, the Jewish people are royal people. Pesach is all about God, who takes out the people who were yesterday slaves and now become God's royal nation. Royalty is something that uplifts. Royalty is something that exalts. And royalty touches the essence of a person. And that is why, going back to a country, in terms of the allegiance to the king, whether they be a nobleman or a duke, or just a simple peasant or a serf, they have to swear loyalty to the king. Because the king is beyond both of them. He transcends their limitations. Or to slightly put it in different words, both the duke and the serf could observe the king and notice something majestic, something noble, something uplifting, which they both admire and therefore submit to. Royalty is actually the way we approach God. We always say, blessed are you, King of the universe, the king. Because the concern of a king to his people is something which is awesome. It's not like an elected official at all. In our imagination, the king is the nation is the king cares and feels for the people, and vice versa. It will come a time on Pesach where we celebrate the last days, the coming of Mashiach. And people sometimes ask, how can Mashiach unify the Jewish people? We're so diverse, and we have so many different sections, and there's so many different groups, and so many various levels of observance. And then we say, hold it. Mashiach is a king. We are talking royalty, but not superimposed royalty, not artificial royalty, a command. Someone that exemplifies majesty. You know, when we will be confronted with such an individual on their own, people will respond and submit and willfully say to the righteous Mashiach, teach us, instruct us, direct us, Tell us where to go. You are our king, and we will follow you. And the mighty, powerful Mashiach will be humble like Moses and say, true, I will teach you. And I will teach you what the true King of Kings truly wants from all of us. You say, how is it possible? Well, look what we just saw. Billions of people were enamored with a royal wedding. Billions of people will not only be enamored with the coming of Mashiach and with his personality, but will actually absorb the message of Mashiach, the message of royalty. And what is that? That there is a creator, there is beauty, there is reason, there is dignity, and there is meaning in life. Our job is to anticipate, our job is to have faith, and our job is to make incremental steps in perfecting ourselves and the world to become more noble and more caring, more compassionate, and more generous. And with all of our good deeds, and by bringing out the majesty that's found within each and every one of us, we will surely merit to see the great King Messiah himself, who will represent the true glory of the true King of all kings, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He. May we be privileged to see this with our own eyes very soon. Amen.